The myth of Pandora's box is one of the most well-known and captivating tales in Greek mythology. It tells the story of the first woman created by the gods, her role in unleashing evils into the world, and the profound moral lessons it imparts about curiosity, hope, and the duality of human nature. The myth of Pandora is a cornerstone of ancient Greek thought, exploring themes of temptation, the consequences of disobedience, and the eternal presence of hope in the face of despair. The creation of Pandora. The myth begins with the Titan Prometheus, who defied Zeus, the king of the gods, by stealing fire from Olympus and giving it to mankind. Prometheus loved humanity and wanted them to thrive, but Zeus saw this as a direct challenge to his authority. In retaliation, Zeus sought a way to punish both Prometheus and humanity. Zeus decided to create a woman, the first woman, to serve as a tool of his vengeance. He ordered Hephaestus, the god of blacksmiths and craftsmen, to mold her from clay. Hephaestus shaped her into a stunningly beautiful figure, and each of the Olympian gods endowed her with unique gifts, making her irresistible but also dangerous. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, gave Pandora grace and beauty. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, taught her the skills of weaving and crafting. Hermes, the messenger of the gods, endowed her with cunning and deceitful speech. Hera, the queen of the gods, gave her curiosity. Finally, Zeus himself bestowed upon her the name Pandora, which means all-gifted or the one who bears all gifts, signifying that she was a compilation of divine attributes, both good and bad. Though Pandora was beautiful and talented, Zeus imbued her with another element that would set the stage for humanity's suffering: curiosity. This seemingly innocent trait would lead to the unfolding of the myth's great tragedy. The Box of Evils. Pandora, once fully crafted and gifted by the gods, was presented to Epimetheus, the brother of Prometheus. Epimetheus, unlike his more thoughtful brother, was impulsive and lacked foresight. Despite Prometheus's warnings not to accept any gifts from Zeus, Epimetheus was enchanted by Pandora's beauty and agreed to marry her. As a wedding gift, Zeus gave Pandora a box. In some versions, it was a jar or pithos. He told her she must never open it under any circumstances. Though this warning was stern, it was designed to play into Pandora's nature, especially the curiosity bestowed upon her by Hera. For a while, Pandora resisted the temptation to open the box. However, as time passed, her curiosity grew stronger. She wondered what could possibly be inside that was so forbidden. She reasoned that the gods had given it to her for a reason, and perhaps it held something wonderful. After all, the gods had bestowed her with many gifts. What harm could come from opening one more? Eventually, Pandora could no longer resist. One fateful day, she unlocked the box and lifted the lid, unleashing its contents upon the world. To her horror, what emerged were not treasures or gifts, but all the evils that had been hidden away by the gods. The release of evils. The box contained the embodiment of every conceivable evil and suffering that could afflict humankind. As Pandora opened the box, these dark forces, disease, pain, sorrow, death, war, greed, envy, and malice, escaped into the world. Once free, these calamities spread across the earth, bringing suffering to humanity, which until then had lived in peace and harmony. Pandora, realizing the gravity of her mistake, hastily tried to close the box. However, it was too late. The evils had already escaped and could not be contained again. Pandora was devastated by what she had done. She had not intended to harm anyone, but her curiosity had led her to disobey Zeus's command, and as a result, the world was now plagued with suffering. Yet, when all seemed lost, Pandora heard a faint sound coming from inside the box. She realized that one final thing remained trapped inside, something that had not yet escaped. She opened the box once more, but this time what emerged was not an evil, rather, it was hope. The role of hope. The presence of hope at the bottom of Pandora's box is one of the most intriguing aspects of the myth. After all the evils had escaped, hope remained, symbolizing that even in the darkest of times, humanity is never without the capacity for optimism and resilience. There are different interpretations of why hope was included in the box with the evils. Some believe that hope was Zeus's final act of mercy toward mankind, a small consolation for the suffering that had been unleashed. Others interpret it more cynically, suggesting that hope is itself a form of deception, a false promise that prolongs human suffering by making people endure it in the belief that things will eventually get better. In any case, hope's presence in the box serves as a counterbalance to the evils released into the world. It is a reminder that while life may be filled with hardship, there is always the possibility of better things to come. Humanity, though beset by suffering, is also gifted with the strength to persevere. The aftermath and moral lessons. The myth of Pandora's box offers numerous moral and philosophical insights that have resonated through the ages. Curiosity and disobedience. Pandora's insatiable curiosity drives the central conflict of the story. Her disobedience of Zeus's command to leave the box unopened is often seen as a cautionary tale about the dangers of giving in to temptation. In this sense, Pandora's story is akin to other cultural myths about disobedience leading to the fall of humankind, such as the biblical story of Eve and the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. The duality of life. The evils released from Pandora's box represent all the negative aspects of human existence: suffering, illness, war, and death. However, these are part of the natural order of life. The myth suggests that life's hardships are inevitable, but they are not without purpose. Hope, left at the bottom of the box, symbolizes the enduring belief that humanity can overcome even the worst trials. The role of women in mythology. Pandora, as the first woman, plays a pivotal role in this myth and is often portrayed as both a blessing and a curse to humanity. Her creation and actions set the course for human suffering, but her gifts also brought culture and civilization to the world. This complex portrayal of Pandora reflects ancient Greek views on women, who were often seen as both enchanting and dangerous, embodying the dualities of creation and destruction. Divine retribution. Zeus's punishment of mankind for Prometheus's rebellion underscores the theme of divine retribution in Greek mythology. The gods are often portrayed as capricious and vengeful, punishing both mortals and fellow deities who defy them. Zeus's decision to create Pandora as a tool of punishment highlights the power imbalance between mortals and the gods, and the inevitable consequences of defying divine authority. The nature of hope. Perhaps the most profound lesson of the myth lies in its exploration of hope. The fact that hope was left in the box can be interpreted in many ways. Some view it as a gift from the gods, a means of coping with life's hardships. Others see it as a cruel trick, an illusion that keeps humanity struggling in vain. Regardless of interpretation, the myth suggests that hope is an integral part of the human experience, one that allows people to face adversity with resilience. Pandora's legacy in modern culture. The story of Pandora's box has endured for millennia, and its themes continue to resonate in modern culture. The phrase Pandora's box has become a common metaphor for any action that seems small or innocuous but ultimately leads to unforeseen and potentially catastrophic consequences. In literature, art, and philosophy, Pandora is often used to explore themes of human nature, the interplay of good and evil, and the eternal quest for understanding. Her story has been reimagined in countless ways, from Renaissance paintings to contemporary novels, each time offering new insights into the complexities of curiosity, punishment, and hope. Pandora's tale also intersects with broader cultural myths about creation, disobedience, and the origin of evil. Like the story of Adam and Eve in the Bible, Pandora's myth is concerned with the introduction of sin and suffering into an otherwise perfect world. Both stories explore the consequences of human curiosity and the idea that knowledge can be both a blessing and a curse. The myth of Pandora's box is a timeless story that continues to captivate audiences with its exploration of human nature, divine retribution, and the delicate balance between suffering and hope. Pandora, as the first woman, plays a pivotal role in shaping the human experience, illustrating the dangers of curiosity and the consequences of disobedience. Yet, her story is not one of pure despair. Hope remains at the bottom of the box, offering a glimmer of light in the darkness. Through Pandora's actions, the ancient Greeks sought to explain the existence of evil in the world, while also emphasizing that no matter how dire the situation, humanity will always possess the strength to endure. The myth reminds us that life is a mixture of joy and sorrow, triumph and tribulation, and that even in the face of overwhelming challenges, hope can guide us through.